Good morning. Good morning, everyone. I wanted to take a few minutes and talk about that word seize it. Seize, right? That's really powerful, to grab something forcibly and quickly. In this context of what we just saw, reach up, pull yourself up and ascend even higher. Like those climbers we just saw, we've achieved great heights as a brand. This is yet another record-breaking year for KOA, our best year ever. Now we could clap for that. And this is even better. 90% of our campgrounds, 90% are up this year over last year. But like those climbers, there's always the next challenge, right? They're never satisfied. There's always something bigger and better to go for. And we know at KOA we can't be satisfied in our success. And there's always more challenges ahead. So as we gather here in Phoenix for our 2017 annual convention, beautiful Phoenix, we're going to suggest to you this morning that just like an ideal climbing day, no wind, blue sky, quiet, maybe a bird, the climate's right now, from everything happening in the business world to consumer interest in camping, for us to elevate our brand even more. The theme of this convention was chosen intentionally because I truly believe the future is now. It's hard for me to believe, but I've been here 7 years almost. And some of those first things we were talking about in my early conventions about marketing and digital trends are all happening right now. And many things you've been looking at for years, long before I was coming here, about camping trends and things that are happening in the outdoors are happening now. Let's consider a few of those. There's legions of new campers coming into camping, right? There's lots of new interest. There's this resurgence of excitement about the outdoors. There's more families, more ethnicity, and younger generations. We talk a lot about the millennials. You all know millennials are the largest segment of the population, right? Did you know that millennials are now the largest segment of the camping population as well? That's a fact. On the other side, retirement is off the charts. Baby boomers, which are the core of our business, are retiring in droves, 10,000 per day. And that's a trend that's going to continue for the next 12 years. All those things happening with people are driving RV sales. RV shipments are at their highest levels in 40 years, and they've doubled since 2008. And we're feeling, and the industry's feeling, capacity constraints. There's a lot of talk for more campsites, more campgrounds, and a lot of popularity in Washington about modernizing our public parks and national parks, our public campgrounds and national parks. On the consumer side, people are taking less vacation time. That's a fact. But they really value unique experiences. And that makes what we do very, very important. The power of the short-term stay is very important in a time-starved society. Speaking of unique experiences, glamping continues to be all the rage. We did some research this year on glamping, and it showed that 3/4 of campers, 3/4 of them, say they would be interested in staying in unique accommodations or having a glamping experience. And KOA is starting to play in this space, and I think we should continue to do so. There's a lot of disruptors in our business, right? The Airbnb model, sharing economy, is in camping. People are renting campsites on places like Tenter and Hip Camp. But did you know you can also now buy an RV and rent that out to people when you're not using it? That's going to impact our business in a big way in the coming years. All this ladders up to technology. Technology is fundamental in how we reach campers, how you service your guests, and how we keep them engaged. And with people with less and less time, wanting more experiences, have technology at their fingertips, guest expectations are rising, right? And you feel this every day on your campgrounds. In this world with online reviews being so powerful, customer service is more important than ever. So we could talk about these trends all day. Trust me, that's my favorite thing to do. It's a big part of my job, is seeing where we're headed with trends. But all these things are colliding into this very pivotal moment with KOA. And I'm very, very confident that your decision to become a KOA, whether you made that this year or 50 years ago, positions you well right now to take advantage of everything we're seeing happening. In climbing, whether it be a mountain, a rock, or even a climbing wall at a gym, it's rarely an individual effort, right? There's a strong support system. There's a belayer or an anchor. There's often a guide who's looking for opportunities and obstacles. Each member of the team has their own experiences and their own expertise they're bringing to the climb. They inspire, motivate each other. There's a lot of trust in that team, and collectively, they all move forward together. So look around the room at all this yellow. We're all on the same climbing team, if you will. We're very, very proud to be your partner. And I assure you that today, and all of us together, the KOA brand has never been stronger. So I'm just the warm-up act this morning. We've got some great people coming behind me to share some ideas with you. But what I'm going to spend my time talking about in the context of this theme is what we're doing as a brand to seize the moment. What programs are we putting in place? What results are we seeing that really is helping our team drive forward in the marketplace? So the first thing I would suggest to you is that we're increasing brand awareness. Camping is a very popular activity. In fact, 75 million households in North America say they are campers. 37 million of those camp every year, and that's just continuing to increase. We see 1 million new campers come in every year to camping ever since we've been doing research on it. Now, KOA is a storied brand with a long history, highly recognizable. We've got locations all over, 500 locations. We're the world's largest system of campgrounds. Yet of those 37 million annual campers, we service just a fraction. In fact, we serve over 1.1 million campers every year. So with that large differential and all these new people coming into camping, we can't take for granted that people know who KOA is. And frankly, they all don't. And it's our job at the home office to work to continue brand awareness. So the past few years, we've been trying tactics that cast a wider net to increase top-of-mind brand awareness so that as we work people down the funnel to conversion, we've got more people to choose from. So let's see how we're doing. This shows that in the past 2 years, we've increased top-of-mind brand awareness by 17%. So top of mind means when we research, we ask people, name a campground, they say KOA first. 4 in 10 campers, and keep in mind there's a lot of people that camp, 4 in 10 of those say KOA first. It's fantastic. The other thing to keep in mind is that this represents all camping. And we know that the majority of campers are tenters. When we slice this data by just RVers, that number jumps to 79%. Really high awareness, but there's still opportunity, right? All of this is driven by a heavy investment in PR and media. We purposely made a shift a few years ago with the advent of our What's Behind the Yellow Sign campaign to move more dollars into TV and digital, and we hired a new PR firm that's really taken us to new heights. This just represents the impressions we've had this year with our advertising and PR work. An impression means sets of eyeballs. So consider that there's been 1.1 million sets of eyeballs or exposures of our brand this past year. And this is really important that we reach as many people as possible because of those that are exposed to our advertising, 3/4 of those mention KOA first when we ask them about top-of-mind brand awareness. All of this awareness building is important because it ladders up to building more potential for the brand. 1 in 5 non-KOA campers, 2/3 of KOA campers, that equates to 8 million people, households rather, 8 million households, say they are interested in finding a KOA first when they go to a new market. 8 million households out there are saying they will seek KOA first when they go to a new market, and that's all new potential for our business. So we increase awareness, people want to camp with us, but we got to talk about are they actually? And I would suggest that we're seizing the moment by attracting new campers and increasing loyalty. Our marketing objective at KOA is pretty clear, increase camper nights. But there's 2 ways to do that. We can increase loyalty, the amount of time people camp with us, and we can also bring in new business. It's pretty difficult to do 2 very different things. It kind of goes against all my marketing training that you have 2 objectives. But in order to market our business right, we had to divert funds and tactics in both directions, and I think we've succeeded in both areas, and I'd like to share that with you. First of all, let's look at loyalty. Since 2013, we've increased the amount of times people camping with us 2 times a year by 30%. We really, really went after this because the majority of people camp with us 1 time a year. And if we can get them to camp even 1 more time a year, that's a huge impact on our business. And we've been succeeding. People that stay with us at least twice has increased 30% since 2013. Another measure of loyalty, right, is the value card program. And similar to this number, since 2013, on a same-store basis, value card sales have increased by 30%. On the new camper acquisition side, we've also made great progress. As I said earlier, last year we serviced 1.15 million households at KOA, and we'll have even more this year with the numbers we're having. But that is a 26% increase since 2013, which is fantastic. We're servicing more households every year, and more people are camping more frequently. When I was new in my career, I went to San Francisco for a conference, and I drove up to see Woody and Pauline at Petaluma. I hope they're here. I haven't got a chance to catch up with them yet. We had a great dinner, a lot of great Sonoma Valley wines. You can imagine the stories. But then Chris got very, very serious, and he looked at me and he said, I need to see that this brand can bring in more people. And Chris, I hope these numbers and everything we're going to talk to you about this morning helps reassure you that the KOA brand does bring in new campers, and we're not going to stop bringing in new campers. So who are these people? We talk a lot about baby boomers, right? That's the foundation of our business, or it traditionally has been. But we're starting to see a shift. A lot of people talk about millennials. I also like to look at Gen X. Gen X actually has the largest spending power of all the generations. And so we're looking at people aged 20 to 50. That comprises 41% of our camper base right now, 41%. We're also making great progress with minorities. Of all new campers that came to KOA last year, 3 in 10 of them were multicultural. We've got a really unique opportunity right now to keep servicing our base, that baby boomer camper, but also start catering to these new younger campers, because they're going to continue to be with us over time. We know from research these guys value site quality, campground atmosphere, recreation. They camp in groups. The average size of a millennial group camping trip is 10 people. Group facilities are very, very important, and I also really believe in co-location of sites for different site types. RV sites next to cabin sites, tent sites next to RV sites. Starting to realize that multiple people are coming together to experience the outdoors, and they're camping different ways. And don't be confused that all these younger campers are tenters. That's not true. Of all new campers that came to KOA last year, 56% were in RVs. We're seeing great trial in cabins, people coming in, trying our accommodations. And like I said, people are in RVs. They're not just only purchasing them, but they're renting them. Increasing online reservations. Obviously, this is a big one that I'm pretty passionate about, and I will hopefully show you how we're seizing the moment there as well. We'll have 13 million visitors to KOA.com this year for 25 million sessions. But it's really impactful to me when I stepped back and I ran these numbers versus 2011. Now, why is 2011 important? If anyone remembers, in 2011, we were transitioning off the website that Gen X had built and putting in place the new KOA.com that we have today. And we were also, this is right before the big shift in our digital marketing strategy. So these numbers show you what we've done since 2011. 66% increase in users, 171% increase in reservations, 257% increase in online revenue. I was floored by these numbers. I knew they were high, but I didn't know they were this high. Our goal is to continually increase the percentage of reservations made online. That alleviates pressure at your front desk, reduces phone calls, and allows you to spend more time with the customers on your campground. This right here is a breakdown of advanced reservations. The orange is phone reservations, and the red is online reservations. Starting at the bottom there in 2013, you can see how we've had a 13% increase, which brings us to this year, at 47% of all advanced reservations are made online. We're seeing decreases in phone calls. We're also seeing decreases in walk-ins, which you're probably starting to notice as well. Our efforts to continually improve the web experience is what drives these numbers. And Cole and Tempest, who work on our website day in and day out, have a long list of things we want to do to continually improve that. But I wanted to share with you a couple sneak peeks of something that's right around the corner. When you go to a hotel, particularly I see this a lot when you go to Vegas, right? Maybe the dates that you're coming aren't available, but you have the option to look at an availability calendar. And here you can see how people could click into that. Instead of just telling people, site's not available for your stay, they can open up a calendar that shows them when that site would be available. Yeah. We're hoping this will allow us to fill in our gaps, get people to shift their stay, maybe just by a day, and fill our campgrounds. Likewise, we're working on some really cool new messaging that creates a sense of urgency, gets people to book now rather than waiting. Awesome. Nice work, Cole. All these improvements and others that are going to be coming shortly after that are going to continue to drive that online reservation percentage up even further. We're very, very excited about it. We also put a lot of attention into mobile, and we have to in this day and age. The phone, we like to say, is the Swiss Army knife of camping. You can do pretty much everything with it, right? Our sessions are up over 22% on mobile devices. Reservations, revenue, even value card sales are over 50% up coming from a mobile device. So we've implemented a mobile-first strategy. Pretty much everything we do right now, we optimize it for mobile first and then the web later. But I want to spend a minute talking about our app. You should be very, very proud of the KOA app. Almost 900,000 downloads have happened of that KOA app right now. Just shy of 1 million phones have the KOA app in there and are active on a regular basis. So let's switch gears a little bit and talk about brand positioning. We launched this program 5 years ago at convention. I was pregnant, if everyone remembers. It was a very heated discussion. It was very, very scary. But we launched it for several reasons, which we stand behind today. We wanted to recognize the diversity in our system and the wide ranges of experiences we offer, yet create commonalities between our brands to allow us to better market everybody on a national stage. We want to create more information for the guest about the experience they can expect when you get your campground. Better set those expectations. Want to create a point of differentiation in any local market so when that KOA campground is stacked up against others, they're in the best position to win. Wanted to encourage investment in our parks, upgrades to our sites and facilities. We wanted to modernize this brand to attract these new legions of campers. 5 years later, I believe we're meeting all of those objectives. Firmly believe that. Brand positioning has given us a platform to reintroduce this brand to the world. It makes sense, not just to KOA campers, but non-KOA campers. And it's embraced by our campgrounds, but also non-KOA campgrounds. I was just visiting with the owner. I was at his park, what is highly recognized as one of the best campgrounds in the country, if not the world. And he even said, it really makes sense for a campground system of your size and breadth to have this program. Highly recognized in our industry as something that makes sense. Now, 93% of you in this room are in a brand position. And we really appreciate your partnership and trust in our team as we move the brand forward with this initiative. I'm really pleased to say that headed into next year, 70% of our system will be in the KOA directory as a brand position, making great progress. Of those that are remaining, 60% are well on their way of meeting our 2020 objective to have everybody in a brand position. So our franchise services team, our facilities development team, quality assurance teams are working with that other 40% that might have space constraints or other reasons why they can't join a position. And we're working to figure out how we can get everybody in by 2020. In the meantime, our marketing team is making great progress with the guest. In the past couple years, we've had a 10-point increase in awareness of the program. 1/3 of non-KOA campers are aware of brand positioning, and 6 in 10 KOA campers say they're aware of this program. Really positive momentum with the non-KOA camper. They say it's helpful to have the campground identified this way. They have a better opinion of our quality and a favorable opinion of the program. So it stands to reason to me that if 2/3 of non-KOA campers believe these things, we should be able to incite trial by that group. Likewise, high regards coming from new KOA campers, people that just started camping with us last year. As you can see, high favorability, high opinion of the program, and they find the identification helpful. Now, it's difficult, right, to pinpoint why someone chooses to camp with KOA. I'm not suggesting this is the only reason they chose to camp with KOA. Could be anything we're talking about. But the fact that it's resonating so highly means they were exposed to it before their stay or during their stay is very, very likely. Finally, all of our brands are very popular when we do research, and there's high likelihood to stay at all of our KOA journeys, KOA holidays, and KOA resorts. And we're starting to play around with this concept of the KOA family of campgrounds. Very early in our process, but we're trying to figure out ways we package this and talk about us collectively. And if you just think about it for a minute, we are truly a family. People always talk about that, and we do have a family of campgrounds. And we're going to see the collective strength in this program when everybody's on board. It's really hard to pinpoint success in a program when we still have 30% of the system not in a position. But we're going to get there, and this time next year, we're going to see even more results. We are seeing a couple things happening at the campground level. First of all, we're seeing a 10-point swing in NPS from branded versus non-branded parks. Now, that could be driven by improvements that have been made to the park to join a brand position. Could be driven by a sense of pride your staff has once that sign is hung. Maybe that service level kicks up even just a little bit more. Regardless of how, we are seeing a nice swing there. Also, we're seeing more rates being taken on branded parks versus non-branded. Deluxe cabins are up 6% in rate. And also, on full hookup RV sites, we're seeing a 19% increase. This is across all brands on full hookup RV sites. Beyond these, one thing I think is really great about brand positioning, it's helping expand our family. We're attracting high-quality parks because of brand positioning, and that's a fact. You can talk to Chris and Larry and Nicole about that. Independent campgrounds who otherwise wouldn't have spoke to us are coming to us because of this program. Two examples, the Blue Water Group, which owns Chincoteague Island KOA and the Cape Charles Chesapeake Bay KOA, who's here in the audience with us, are interested in the KOA resort brand in particular, and that's why they are now KOAs. Likewise, Jim Kirsten from Milton KOA picked up the phone and started talking to our teams because of the brand positioning program. We're very happy to have them and others that are recognizing the value that this can bring to their brand. The truth is we've freshened our brand. It's a brand builder. It's attracting more customers, and it's attracting more campgrounds. So, part of being a franchisor is not just marketing the brand, everything we've been talking about, but it's delivering programs to you so that you can increase your business. We're continually refining our support. Another story about a partner in the audience once said to me, can you guys please put the services back in franchise services? And I think we've been working hard to refine what we're doing. We take feedback from the FSS. We meet with our advisory committees, and I think we're focused in the right areas. We're always looking for feedback. But before I get into those discussions about what we're doing, I wanted to take a quick moment to recognize the leadership of the franchise departments and key programs that we have. This is the team I work with every day, and I'm highly confident and skilled set of people that are working on your behalf to drive this system forward. So Chris Fairley, he's back there. Most of you who are new to this system has worked with Chris and his team to come into this system. He runs our system development team and is constantly seeking out new parks to convert. Lauren Armour drives our value card program and brand partnerships, and he's got a really, really exciting one to share with you today. John Adams, working very, very hard to build a quality software product and deliver K2 to you. He runs our IS department. Mike Gast and Polly Mulvaney comprise the KOA newsroom, and they're responsible with facilitating that two-way dialogue we have going with you on our programs and services. Whitney Scott, who really stepped up in a big way a couple years ago to lead our marketing team, has my full confidence behind her. She's doing a fantastic job. And Jill Courier, I want to mention Jill Courier, who's worked really hard over the past few years to advance KOA's accommodation programs. So I don't know where they're sitting, but I want them to know that we're very, very proud to have them on our team, and you should be too. There's some of them. But we have a new member of our team, and I wanted to take a minute just to talk about Darren Usselman. Darren Usselman is our new Vice President of Franchise Services. He came to us in March. He has been a breath of fresh air for our team. He has a great deal of experience in non-campground world, but it all relates very, very well. He's going to share more about that with you later. He's a great advocate for the system, and every franchisee that works with him so far has told me they think he's a great partner for us. So Darren's going to talk more at noon, but I just wanted us all to officially welcome him to our team. So the programs that this talented team develops and delivers are for you to build your business and also develop thought leadership for KOA. Let's talk about sites. Sites has been a consistent theme of what we've been talking about up here for the past couple of years. The reality is we win with good sites. Earlier this year, we released the KOA Analysis and Grading Field Guide. If you haven't seen this yet, your QA team should have given you one if you had a visit. It's on eCamp, and if you need a copy, you can call me. I'll make sure you get one. It's a very, very good tool that allows you to analyze the backlog of your sites and make a plan for improvement. Who's here used it? Seeing some hands go up. Well, we were seeking around trying to get some feedback, and Polly spoke with Mary Davidson at Terre Haute, and I just wanted to read to you what her experience with the site guide has said. Yes, excuse me, we definitely used the site analysis and grading field guide as we were determining which sites would be the best sites to improve first. We had been experimenting on paper with improving different site types with different ideas, which the guide helped us tremendously by showing what is possible at different levels of improvement. Making it better is always something we strive for, but we wanted to do more. We took the guide and determined how close we were to having the best, and worked out a plan that would give us the most bang for our buck. She went on to say, it has become very noticeable that our improved sites are the first to be reserved online, and campers are practically doubling their length of stay with us because of them. So all in all, if we hadn't taken a look at the guide, we probably never had imagined the possibilities. Because if we really thought we were doing okay, okay is okay. Better is definitely better. And our best, well, who doesn't want to make money and make your campers happy? Now that's the best. So thank you, Mary, for that testimonial, and I really encourage you all to use that to improve your sites. Take a look at what you've got and how you can make improvements. And to help with that, our facilities development team has now released the Patio Site Field Guide. This is a very comprehensive guide with pictures, descriptions, and ideas on how you can build patio sites. Now, patio sites work, bottom line, and this works for all brand positions. This is not just about holidays and resorts. I see KOA Journeys putting them in, and they work. And holidays, just because you have a requirement to have 2 of them doesn't mean you can't put in more. We haven't seen a situation yet where it doesn't work on a campground and more patio sites don't make sense. Patio sites are a differentiator for our brand. Our conversion teams are in independent campgrounds every day, and they do not see patio sites. This is where we can really pull away from the pack and do something very ownable for KOA. I've actually issued a trademark on KOA's patio site that we're going to be able to start using the end of next summer. We can create something really ownable, and everyone should step up and embrace this really, really exciting part of our system. We're seeing payback periods in 2 years. Guests are renting them first, and they're rating them very, very high. So give it a try. We also still believe in accommodations, and I think the KOA approach to accommodation is also a differentiator for our brand. Since 2011, we've had a 140% increase in revenue coming in on our deluxe cabin product. And why is this important? New campers, not just KOA, but all new campers last year, 1/3 of them were in accommodations. New people coming into this market are looking for accommodation units to stay. We added 106 deluxe cabins to our system last year. Let's add even more this year. We know we need to help you with the operational costs. We're going to get a lot more granular there and try to help you make those purchase decisions, and also develop more training and guidelines on specific things like housekeeping. And likewise, at the same time, our marketing team is working very diligently to increase the awareness of this product. Similar to deluxe cabins, unique accommodations are rising as an important thing we should start looking at. We talked earlier about glamping, gaining traction. among our guests. This is a great way to attract new people looking for a little bit different of an experience. The other thing I would offer to you is that unique accommodations are a really cost-effective way to increase your accommodation inventory. Your all-in costs on implementing a canvas tent, TP, or a yurt are likely to be smaller than what your deluxe cabin cost would be. So you can increase your accommodations and service guests in that way for a lower cost. We know we have more to learn about glamping. We're putting some in ourselves right now, and I think it's really bigger than just the unit. It's about the experience and the services surrounding that make a glamping experience. But we're continuing to do more research and learn things ourselves so we can share that with the broader system. I was at Arvik last week, and they had research out that said that 5% of campgrounds had a unique accommodation. Actually, 12% of KOA campgrounds have a unique accommodation. So if we get on this, this is another way we can differentiate from independent campgrounds and separate KOA from the pack. At Expo, in a couple days, tomorrow night, you're going to see more accommodation vendors than ever. You're going to see canvas tents, you're going to see teepees, you're even going to see a covered wagon. And we're really, really pleased to announce that we are extending the royalty rebate program this year to unique accommodation units. Just like deluxe cabins, you can enjoy a year of no royalties if you put in a unique accommodation or a deluxe cabin. Our marketing team's always looking for ways to help you market your park. They're currently in the midst of working on 3 new field guides, 1 for each brand position. This has tools, templates, and specific recommendations for each position on how to best take advantage of that in your local market when you're marketing to your guest. While we're on marketing, I want to take a few minutes to talk about something I'm pretty passionate about, and that's good photography. If you do nothing else, leaving convention, you don't remember anything I just said for this half hour, take away that you should have good photography on KOA.com. We have a photography co-op program that'll help you defray the costs of a photographer so you can get really quality photography when you put that on KOA.com. As you recall, we're sending millions of people there. And how hard is it to really think someone's going to make a reservation when they can't even see a picture worthy of your campground experience? I always share this at KOAU, so you've probably heard this before. But when people come to a web page, it takes 0.02 seconds for them to form an impression of your business. And that's based off the quality of the photography mainly, right? We're very visual beings. 2.6 seconds later, your brain catches up and reinforces that. You're going to lose campers if you don't have good photography. Please take advantage of the photography co-op program. We'll shift gears quickly to franchise services. Under Darren's leadership, this team is focusing direction in some key areas I think worth talking about for a few minutes. First of all, rate management. John Burke, Eric Gothberg, and I went to Australia this May to meet with Big Four and Discovery Parks. And the thing we were most impressed with was a software tool they were using to help dynamically manage their rates. So we're right now in the process of our own test of integrating that software with K2 so we can see how it would work to manage rates. Darren's team is working on simple tools that can help everybody develop rate structures, and we want to develop more training around the science and the importance of rate management. Wi-Fi, we know that remains the #1 thing that's difficult for an operator to get right. And it's also increasing in importance in the camper's mind. 1/3 of guests are making campground decisions based off the quality of Wi-Fi, and that's only going to increase. So we're also in the middle of a test right now on a new solution that we hope is going to work out to help all of our parks that are struggling with Wi-Fi develop better Wi-Fi for their guests. We have a renewed focus on the store. You're going to see a lot coming from us this year on A-frame upgrades, store remodels, and also merchandise, and how to better increase that part of your revenue stream. And Work Camper, we know from satisfaction survey, it's one of the most highly valued programs we have, but we also know it needs a lot of work. So we're investing time and resources here to improve the experience for both the Work Camper and for you. And we also want to send more highly qualified Work Campers your way. So that brings me to probably our largest service we provide, and it's probably the largest elephant in the room. So let's just talk about K2. K2 is now operational at 6 campgrounds, and it's been going very well. It's been easy to implement, and the most important thing, I think, is that the hurdle to learn to use it has been very, very low, which is going to help with training your staff. We're ready for broader rollouts across the system at the beginning of the year, and we're going to be talking about that more later today and at all of the K2 workshops. But what I'm going to talk to you about right now is that I have a lot of confidence in this product. I know this has been painful, and we're behind schedule, but this is a solid core and a really strong foundation for us to add all of the great things we've been talking about for years to this product. I also have a lot of confidence in our team. We have highly qualified software architects developing this and designing it. We've added resources this year in key areas like reporting, and we're contracting outside resources as necessary to accelerate development and add expertise in certain areas. We're not slowing down development of K2. We're really excited to get you all on board, and please know this is just a start. We're not going to slow down our pace of development. We've got a big year planned of new things you're going to see continually added to the product. We're steadfastly committed to having a software product that's top of the market. The point of comparison for us is not Campsite. The point of comparison for us is all those emerging software products that are coming out from startups right now. That's who we want to have a better product than that for you, and we're committed to doing that. So, I hope that you feel the same way as I do after those 6 things, that we're really seizing it. I feel we're seizing it, and I hope you do too. There's lots of indicators of that. All the numbers we just looked at, how your park performed this year. Another thing I'm really excited about is we're seeing more of you invest in more KOAs. The amount of people having multiple campgrounds is increasing. In 2011, we had 14 ownership groups that represented 46 KOAs. And in 2017, we have 21 representing 70 KOAs. If nothing else, your willingness to step up and purchase another park and partner with us in a bigger way is an indicator that we're moving forward as a team and doing great things for this brand. This, though, the numbers, they speak for themselves. This is what Pat shares with you every year on our year-over-year registration growth. This is what we looked at last year. We're all really excited about that 55% growth since 2011. But let's look at this. This is where we're at this year. 70% registration growth over the past 6 years. Cumulative growth over the past 6 years. So I don't think I could say anything else that could beat that, so I'm going to wrap up here. But someone who's really, really passionate about registration growth is our CFO. So John Burke's going to come up and share with you some insights on what's happening outside of the KOA walls.
Nice job.